back to my channel. So it's summertime. Well, it's the end of summer, so why not start talking about some summer nail polish collections? I know I'm very topical and I'm very timely with my reviews, but I figure, hey, better late than never. And honestly, these polishes from Orly aren't that bad. I have always been a fan of Orly polishes, more specifically their neons. I feel like Orly really has a pretty good understanding of a neon formula. Some of my favorite neons come from Orly. They just have a really good neon formula. And so this year they have, of course, some fantastic neons in their collection. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good. Spoiler alert, the neons from the collection are fantastic. And then these two like shimmery things are not so good. But let's talk about these individually and really give them a chance to shine. So let's get started with the review. First ones I'm gonna mention are ones that I feel like are not that great, that you could easily like just kind of skip over and you'd be just fine. The first one is going to be See You Soon, S-E-A, which is very clever. And it's a beautiful color. It's a really deep, bright cerulean blue with like a very finely milled green glitter shimmer running through it that is really quite pretty. It looks beautiful. It really does have a nice like punch to it when you add a glossy topper to it to really bring out that shimmer, but the formula just really isn't doing it for me. And you'll see why. So here is the first coat of See You Soon, and you can tell that it is extremely sheer and very watery. I will, however, give major props to that wide paddle brush. I love that wide paddle brush so much because you can see I can easily cover my entire nail with like 2 strokes, which is awesome. Since the first coat was not that great, I added a second coat hoping that would really get me to full opacity with this color, and unfortunately it did not. You can still see my nail line. I'm having some issues getting full opaque coverage, so once this dries, I'm going to have to go in with a third coat. Now, usually a third coat is as far as I will take it. If I have to do more than 3 coats, I'm not gonna bother with it. The third coat is kind of hit or miss. I think some nails are okay with 3 coats, but you might actually need a 4th. It truly is personal preference, and I think also it depends on how long your nails are. I feel like if you had shorter nails, you could definitely get away with 2 coats. See You Soon is not one of my favorites. The formula is so sheer, it just didn't sit right with me very well, and I think the majority of it was just because of the experience with the formula. 2 thumbs down on this one, simply because that formula was really disappointing. The other polish from this collection that I really do not recommend is Under the Stars, which is a shame because it looks so beautiful in the bottle. We have a very deep sapphire blue that's got tons of like purpley shimmer running through it to really give it a nice violety indigo feel, which I feel like is absolutely gorgeous. It looks so good in the bottle, but the formula is really lacking. The formula is definitely not that good. First coat of Under the Stars is completely underwhelming. I was so underwhelmed with this polish. I was really disappointed at how grainy it was and sheer. It just felt super gritty, like the shimmers in there was causing some slight texture. It still dries smooth to the touch, but for some reason application just looked really gritty and I didn't like it. The second coat, I was hoping for a more opaque color, and it's kind of there, but just like with the other blue shimmer in this collection, it really comes down to personal preference. Looking back on this application footage, I now recognize that I should probably have done a third coat with this color, but I really just was not enthusiastic about this color one bit. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this one. I feel like there are much better sapphire shimmers out there that have much better formulas and look almost exactly the same, so I'm not a fan of this one. Again, another 2 thumbs down. I hold Orly to a really high standard, and this one did not meet those expectations at all. Now, these neons, on the other hand, these are amazing. If you are in the market for some neons, if you're looking for some neons to add to your collection, I highly recommend these 4 neons from the Orly Summer Collection. These are so incredibly good. The first one that I really enjoyed quite a bit is Summer Fling, and I wore this one quite a bit this summer as I was working through this collection. So Summer Fling is like this hot coral neon color that I absolutely adore, but this one's slightly pastel-y in the sense that there's just a hint of white mixed in there just to make it a little bit like a bleached neon, and I love it. This color is so spot on for summer. It looks great on the hands, it looks great on the toes. It's going to give you an instant tan regardless of where you wear it. So this one is definitely one of my favorites, and the formula is not that bad. So one thing to remember about Summer Fling is that the formula appears to be kind of like a jelly crelly business. So the first coat is going to be a little bit on the sheer side, which I was not expecting. And to be honest, I was a little bit disappointed. I was really kind of heartbroken. But with a second coat, I was able to get it completely fully opaque. Now, I did not need a white base coat, as you saw. This is just 2 coats of the bottle, of the color in the bottle, and I love it. I loved this polish so incredibly much. I thought it was extremely flattering. The formula is smooth and flawless, applies like a dream, and dries super, super quick and looks fantastic with a glossy topper. So long as you can get over kind of the initial kind of freak out of that jelly crelly formula, this is a really, really nice neon. The other orange from the collection is Surfer Dude, and this is traffic cone orange. Like, some people could argue it's maybe a little bit on the reddish side, but for me, the second I put it on my nails, I'm like, nope, that's a traffic cone. Like, hands down, traffic cone. And it is so vibrant. It is in your face. It is definitely neon. It is like, I need sunglasses to look at this because my retinas are burning. It is very, very, very neon, and I love it. And the formula is not that bad. The formula of Surfer Dude is very, very much like Summer Fling in the sense that we're dealing with like a neon jelly crelly formula. So this first coat is a little bit on the sheer side, which again, I was a little bit disappointed with, but having tested out Summer Fling, I knew things were going to turn around with a second coat. And sure enough, with the application of a second coat, it was completely opaque, although this will probably be a preferential kind of thing, like a personal preference sort of thing, because you might need a third depending on whether or not you're a big stickler on seeing that nail line, or if you have short or long nails. I, for one, was okay with 2 coats. I thought it looked fantastic with 2 coats. It looked just like the bottle in 2 coats, and I didn't need a white base coat whatsoever. This one for me was probably one of the least glossier formulas in the sense that when it dried, it wasn't particularly super, super glossy. So I highly recommend adding a glossy top coat to this one to really just make that neon pop. You definitely need a glossy top coat. Now, these last 2 are probably my favorites from this entire collection. While I do love all of the neons, these last 2 are like, nope, these are winners all the way. So the first one is No Regrets, which is a Barbie hot pink. I love a good hot pink, and this one is fantastic. Now, I do have an Orly that's kind of similar to this, and that would be Window Shopping, which I think was from their collection last year, and they're very, very similar. No Regrets is just a hint more lighter, and Window Shopping is a tad bit darker, but it's still this like magenta Barbie pink that is electrifying. I think this one looks so pretty on the hands. I absolutely adored this one. I wore it quite a bit because it's just this hot pink that just gets me so in the summertime spirit. I absolutely love this one, and it is a great summer color. Now, the formula for No Regrets, I can't quite put my finger on it whether or not it's a crelly or a cream polish. If it is a crelly, I would say it's definitely on the more creamier side of the spectrum of a crelly polish because this formula is so gosh darn opaque. However, when it does dry in one coat, you begin to see that it does thin out just a little bit. So a second coat is definitely needed, but you will not need more than 2 coats with this polish. It is so incredibly flawless. And with that wide paddle brush, you do not need to do many brush strokes with it, at least for my nails. I didn't need to do very many brush strokes. It applied so smoothly and so effortlessly. I adore this formula, and this color is absolutely stunning. Now, the fun thing about this polish is that if you add a high gloss top coat to it, it basically looks like a pair of plastic pumps that Barbie would wear, and I absolutely am obsessed. I love this color, highly recommend it. It is a must-have. It's so gorgeous. Finally, the last polish that I absolutely adored. Like, this one is my favorite. Like, I feel like everybody needs this one so much in their collection because it's just phenomenal. This is For the First Time, and it is like an electric orchid purple. I love orchid purple first off, and this one is so good. Now, it is very similar to another Orly that we received, I think, last year in the summer collection, and that would be Scenic Route. So here's Scenic Route from last year, and this one is For the First Time. Now, they are very close, but for me, they're different enough that they're like, nope, they're both like must-haves. Scenic Route is a little bit more pastel, and For the First Time is a little bit more saturated of a color, and it's slightly pinker, if you can, maybe it's more pink, I don't know. But both of these are phenomenal. They have the best formulas. This is a really nice neon that I'm in love with. I'm absolutely in love with, and so there is no doubt in my mind that For the First Time is a true and genuine cream polish, because look at that application. It is smooth, it is flawless, it is nearly opaque in one coat. I adore it. And that wide paddle brush makes application so enticing and just so enjoyable that even though it is nearly opaque in one coat, I still wanted to do a second coat anyway, just because it was such a joy to work with this polish. And honestly, a second coat did kind of level out some balding spots that happened once it dried down. But seriously, if you are in a rush, this polish would look perfectly fine in one coat. Just like with the other polishes from this collection, I do highly recommend wearing a glossy topper with it, just because it really does bring out the shine and it really does highlight the magnitude of these colors, because they are quite electric and in your face. I feel like this polish is definitely a must-have purely because the formula is such a dream to work with. But more importantly, that color is fantastic. This is such a flattering color. It would look great on any pair of hands, and I absolutely am obsessed. I love this color so much. If you don't have this, you need to go buy it right now. It's amazing. All in all, I feel like half of this collection is worth it. I feel like these two blue shimmers, don't do it. Like, just really don't. You'll be sad. It's very deceptive. It's really not that great of an experience working with these, but these neons are totally worth it. I keep Orly to a very high standard when it comes to their neons, and these ones did a pretty good job. These two are a little bit on the jelly side, which I'm not a fan of, but these two down here, these ones are perfect. So what did you guys think about the Orly collection? It's been out for a very long time, so I'm sure most of you have had some experience with it. What was your favorite from the collection? Did you like these shimmers? Let me know. Am I the only one that wasn't really blown out of the water by these? Like, I was really disappointed by these ones. So I don't know, were you guys too? I don't know. As usual, I am dying to know what you guys think, so let me know in the comment section down below. That is the first summer collection that I have to review for you guys. Next up we have Zoya, which is very exciting. We also have the Sinful Colors Pastel Neon Matte collection, but you know, there might be some more sprinkled in there here and there. But that is my video for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!